everyone, welcome back to Matcha Monday here on Let's Talk Matcha. I'm so excited for another episode where we dive into the bittersweet moments of the teenage experience, just like matcha. Both can often be messy and imperfect, but that's what makes them beautiful in the end. With that, thank you so much for tuning in, and today's guest is a young athlete whose journey is incredibly inspiring. At just 16 years old, he's already standing at 6'7", and he's already made varsity basketball as a freshman, and just received a D1 offer from Pepperdine University. He's been through a lot, including knee surgery and personal challenges, but his resilience and hard work has led him to where he is today. Please welcome Donovan Mikel.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm excited to talk about my basketball journey with you.
Thank you so much. Okay, and to start off, can you tell us a little bit about your background and what initially sparked your love for basketball?
So I started playing basketball in kindergarten, but I was playing like up second grade because like I was taller than everybody. So that's like really when I first started, but I didn't really like start loving it until around like fifth or sixth grade because my dad passed away. So I needed something to like do with myself because I was doing karate for a little bit and then I stopped doing that and I quit baseball too. So I needed something to do and basketball was there for me.
I'm sorry to hear about your dad passing away, but do you think that hardship motivated you to be your best self and be the best athlete you could be?
Yeah, motivated me to be like want to be the best on the court and like prove myself to everybody.
Nice. And then, what was it like growing up and being so tall from a young age, and did it affect how people saw you and how you treated yourself?
At first, like when I was younger, it was kind of like annoying a little bit because I felt like I like stuck out and like people like make fun of me and stuff. Be like, oh, like you're like tall as a tree and just stuff like that. But now, like I don't really care about like sticking out. Like it's fun being tall. It has a couple disadvantages like fitting in cars and airplanes and stuff like that, but it's still super fun.
Yeah, and especially for you because you play basketball, like being tall is literally like the biggest advantage you
Yeah.
have, right? And what do you think the biggest factor is that contributed to your growth as an athlete?
The biggest factor is probably like putting in like a lot of hard work because at first when I first started playing, I didn't like want to put in the work and the hours. I kind of just was playing for fun. And then I realized that if I wanted to actually get to my goal, like getting D1 offers and stuff, I had to put in the work with like lifting weights, going to trainings, and like putting aside like sometimes hanging out with friends and stuff like that.
Yeah. Did you ever think that you'd get a D1 offer? Like, do you think like 5-year-old you would believe that?
Nah.
No? So it's definitely been like a lot of like hard work. What's like your training on and off the court? Like what does your routine consist of?
Um, I usually like after school I have most days I have two practices a day. I have weights for like 2 hours and I have to practice for 2 hours. So I try to like get my homework done while I'm at school so that when I get home I could just take a shower and go to sleep.
And how do you balance training, school, and like your personal life? Because I feel like that's definitely a struggle to a lot of student athletes.
Yeah.
And especially like since we're in high school, like the workload is very rigorous. So how would you say you balance all of that?
I put them in like categories. So number one is like school. Like that's the main thing I like doing. I like to like maintain a high GPA and get my work done. So that's number one. And then second is probably sports because I have so many practices every week. So I have to like grind and like put away like other things. And then third is like hang out with friends and stuff. Like I try to do it on the weekends, but most weekends I'm like going to LA and stuff like that. So I just have to put that to the side so that I can get to my dream.
Yeah. Would you say you're kind of like not throwing away your teenage years, but do you regret the sacrifices you're making?
I feel like sometimes I do, like sometimes I won't, like during when it was football season, I wasn't able to go to like some games because I had practices and stuff like that. But I have to like realize that I'm setting myself up for a better future and for like future Donovan. And that like 3 hours of having fun with my friends, like I can do that any other time. There'll be other times for me to have fun.
Yeah, I remember like since I'm just a freshman, like there'd be these like Friday night light football games, but then we'd always have practices on Friday nights from like 6 to 8, and like all my friends would be at the game, and then I'd just be like at practice like every single Friday. Like I don't even think I went to one football game yet. So, how do you mentally prepare for games or big moments, and what helps you stay focused?
To prepare for games, we have like a whole like routine that our coach puts us through. Like we have to be at the gym like 3 hours before the game. We watch a little bit of the JV, then we do our own stretches, and then we have like 20 minutes to do whatever we want. So like a lot of people like listen to music and stuff, but I like to just separate myself from the group mainly and just like focus and like remember like this is like I'm playing to get scholarships too, but I'm also going out there to have fun and just not like putting all the pressure on myself when I go out there.
Would you say that helps you a lot in terms of how you play in the actual game?
Yeah, it just helps me have like a calm mind. And we had like a mental health coach this year, so he like helped us like focus with like breathing and stuff. So I do breathing before the game.
What has been the most rewarding part of your basketball journey so far, and what moments are you most proud of?
The most rewarding part's probably like meeting a lot of new people. Like just this year playing like with my EYBL teammates, I've already met like a whole bunch of new people and made a whole bunch of new friends, like other elite basketball players. The number one moment is probably getting the offer from Pepperdine because I still remember it was right before our first playoff game, which we lost, which is kind of sad, like kind of made me mad. But I remember going down there with like all my coaches and then them like calling the Pepperdine coach and him telling me that I was gonna get an offer and my mom was on the phone and she started crying and stuff. So
Oh,
it
oh
was like
my
a
gosh.
heartfelt moment.
So, how did you even go through that process of getting recruited? Like, what's the basketball recruitment process?
So I'm still a sophomore, so I can't like get like an official offer and the coach can't reach out to me personally until I think it's like July something. So the only way that they can contact me is by calling Coach Sanchez through Coach Sanchez, like he has to be there. So yeah, they have to call through Coach Sanchez and then talk to me and my mom has to be there and my coach has to be there. But after the date is done, then they can call my phone personally.
Oh, so it's like the athletic director is the one mainly doing all like the coordinating for
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But in terms of like getting scouted, like how does that process even work?
So you can get scouted at obviously like the normal high school games. Like the time that there's probably the most scouts is like when you're playing in playoffs or if you get to like state championship, there's a lot of scouts. But I think most of the recruiters are in AAU, so it depends what if you play on a circuit. Like there's Made Hoops, there's the Adidas circuit, the Nike circuit, Puma, and Under Armour. So that's where all the scouts are. But I think Nike has the most.
Oh, so do the teams, like the basketball teams, go to like specific circuits or like
Yeah,
how?
they go to certain like events. Like I'm this weekend, I'm going to Arizona, and there's
Oh,
gonna
wow.
be like probably like 100 or 200 coaches there.
Nice. Okay, you go out of state quite often, right? So how do you do that in terms of balancing school? Like I know I asked you that earlier, but just like going more in depth with that.
So it's kind of hard. Like I don't like missing school a lot because I usually like get behind and stuff. So usually we have to leave like Friday morning, so I don't get to go in school on Friday. So I bring all of my, like I talk to my teachers Thursday, and I find out what all the homework is and everything that I'm missing, and I bring it all in my suitcase up to the games. And then after the first game, I usually try to do homework or I try to do it on the flight. So I
Oh.
just try to get it done early so that I'm not like doing it after my game, so I'm not tired.
And has there ever been like a specific turning point or just a specific moment in your journey where you realized you had the potential to play at the next level?
Um, Probably in eighth grade because it was like playing at like lunch. Like I was like playing against like other like they didn't play basketball a lot of them, but we're all on like the same CYO team and they all played their like respective sports. And I was realizing in seventh grade I was like everyone was the same skill level, and then eighth grade I started playing AU for EBS and I started like getting much better than everybody else. And I was like, oh, like I actually think that I can go far. And that's like the main point where I decided that I was gonna start like actually trying because I was getting ready for high school.
So you would say it was in like middle school where you finally like your passion sparked for basketball.
Yeah, like late eighth grade after we lost our CYO championship. And that's when I like switched from playing on EBS, which is like a local thing, to playing on the Oakland Soldiers. I was playing like down for their seventh grade team because of how like young I was at the time. So yeah, that's when I went to the Made Hoop circuit and I realized like I saw like a whole bunch of seventh graders there and I was like, I'm in eighth grade, like I'm gonna be way better than all these kids. And then they were like windmilling and East Bang and stuff. I was like, all right, I'm not as good as I think I am. So I need to work harder.
Seeing the competition pushed you to be like the best athlete you could
Yeah,
be.
seeing the best of the best.
How did you get the nickname Mr. Bounce? People know you like as Mr. Bounce. So how did that nickname come up?
I don't like remember like completely, but it's probably been like a year I think, and we were at a tournament, me and my friend, and he was like we were dunking and stuff, and he was telling me that I have no bounce, and I was like, I don't want like people to think that I don't have bounce, so I was like, I'm gonna change my TikTok username to Mr. Bounce so that people like know me as something. And at first it was just like a joke, like I just put it there, and then once it like actually caught on, it was pretty cool.
Would you say you're like known as Mr. Bounce?
Yeah, pretty much like people at other schools call me it too.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh my gosh. So they like anytime I see like, oh my gosh, like that's Mr. Bounce.
yeah.
Nice. And what has been the most difficult part of your athletic journey so far, and how did you overcome it?
The most difficult part was probably in eighth grade because at the beginning of the year, or in the middle of our CYO season, we went on like a trip or something, and my friend he hit me in my knee really hard, and it started swelling up. And for like 3 months, it was swollen. We were like what's going on? So we went to the doctor, and they started like injecting it with these gel shots, trying to fix it, and it wasn't going away. And then my mom found out that I was gonna have to get surgery, so I went to I went to EBC camp, and then the day after my birthday, I had to get surgery. And then they told me I was gonna be out for like 3 or 4 months, which was like, I was like, oh God, because I was going into freshman year of high school, and I wanted to like prove myself to everybody freshman year. And it like messed up probably like most of my freshman year because I wasn't able to practice and play like 2 days in a row because it would swell up. So I was wearing like a knee brace and I was taking like shots and stuff and it just wouldn't go away. So I had to go to PT for like 3 months. But now like I overcame it because I started taking this shot that I have to take in my leg, which like makes it like the swelling go away. I take it every 10 days. So that's what's been like maintaining it. I'm pretty sure it's like I forgot, it's arthritis, it's juvenile
Arthritis.
arthritis.
But I mean, you still made varsity as a freshman, which is pretty cool. So even though you had that knee surgery, would you still say it was like an obstacle that you had to face, at least go through?
Yeah, it's like more of like a mental obstacle. Like I didn't like basketball was like such a big part of my life, and I had to use like crutches and stuff, which made it hard like getting around school because my middle school has so many stairs, and like I didn't like want to do anything. Like when my mom told me I had to go to PT, I was like I don't even like want to do it. Like I was like giving up. Like I didn't even want to put in the work anymore.
What helped you have that turn in your mentality, and how are you able to push through it?
Uh, I think like a lot of my friends helped me because they were like trying to convince me that like I was gonna be like fine. Like that like one point wasn't gonna determine like the rest of my like life and like high school career and stuff, and that I just had to like push through and put in the hours to like get my knee back to full strength.
Yeah, I think that applies to everyone because, like, I feel like people often think that when they go through one hard moment, that it's like the end all be all. Like, they're never gonna be able to do anything else for the rest of their life just because of that one moment. People like shouldn't let one singular moment define them, especially like not even in athletics. Like I feel like that could go to athletics, that could honestly just go to like any aspect of your life. Because if you restrain yourself and confine yourself to just like a box, I guess, how are you ever gonna grow? So would you feel like having that mentality has helped you a lot?
Yeah, it's definitely helped me a lot. I felt like at the time like I kind of like was like mad at myself and like kind of like God too because I was like why are you like putting me through so many obstacles in my life? Like why can't I just have like one win, I guess. So that like when I got the offer, that was like I felt like that was like God giving me one win.
When you had like all of your complications in terms of like your knee and stuff, did you feel like you didn't like you couldn't see your good moments because the bad moments always outweighed the good ones?
Yeah, I felt like I literally didn't want to do anything. Like I was like, why does this bad stuff like always happen to me?
I feel that way a lot too. Like it's like honestly it could be as simple as like getting a bad grade on a test or just like not performing the way you want to perform. Like for example, for me, like I was also on varsity as a freshman. If I ever didn't perform the way I wanted to, I feel like it was just all because of the expectations that people place on themselves. Not that that's a bad thing, but it's just like in retrospect when you look at it, you're just going to be like, wow, like I can't believe I did all of that. Like even though I faced all this hardship, even though I went through a lot, I still got through it. So even though it seems really bad, like in the moment, I think people just have to think about it like in retrospect, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of a technical difficulty and the mic's died, but we're back. So what is this season specifically? Were there certain pressures and expectations you had to face?
There's definitely like certain pressures because like coming into the season, I wasn't like the number one option. And then like as we moved through the season, I feel like I became more of like the guy on the team. So like whenever I'd have like a bad game, I felt like I was just like letting the entire team down. Like the first time we played Salesian, I had like 16 points and I missed like six threes. So like after the game, I was like almost crying because some of the seniors were crying because they really wanted to beat them. So it was like kind of hard. So I was putting that pressure on myself, but like I had to have coaches and my mom like come up to me and tell me like it's not the whole weight of the game isn't like just on me and that I just need to go out there and just like play my game.
Yeah, do you think it's hard being the young? Are you the youngest on your team?
No, I'm not.
Oh,
I'm one of the young. I'm like
one
the
of
second
those.
youngest.
It's hard to be one of the younger people on the team.
Um, I think it kind of is because some of the like older upperclassmen don't respect you as much. But I feel like in my case, like I kind of like demand respect from them. Like I'm one of the best players on the team. Like I feel like they can't like talk down to me and stuff.
Yeah. Have you ever dealt with people like, or like at least specific experiences where people underestimate you because of your age?
Um, there's probably like a couple times. Like I feel like when I go into like a tournament, like somebody like when I was with EBS, like we go to a tournament in like Dallas and we'd be playing against like a team like full of reclasses and they'd be like, oh, like look at these kids, like they like I mean, most of the people like NorCal basketball isn't like known as like one of like the best, like SoCal is like the main like basketball area. So like coming out of NorCal, like having to like kind of prove yourself to everybody.
Do you think high school basketball is different than like your club or like league basketball?
Yeah, it's much different because in high school basketball, like you have like set plays and you practice a lot. While for my like AAU team, we only practiced like we've practiced like 3 times, and I had to drive up to LA to practice because like almost everybody lives in LA except for this one kid who lives in Hawaii. So yeah, it's like more ISO stuff when you're in AAU.
Oh, so it's not like you don't have like a set team and you practice like 3 days a week, or is it just like people from different areas join on one team?
We all just join on one team and we basically just go up there and we just play. We
Oh,
practice while we're up there at the tournaments before the game.
oh, because for volleyball, it's like you go to tryouts, and then it's like usually people from like the Bay Area, for example. Like it's never like people from like multiple areas, if that makes sense. So I guess basketball is like very different in that regard.
Recruit from everywhere. Anybody that they can get, like the best players.
Do you think it's more competitive than high school?
Yeah, definitely. Because in high school, like depending on your division, that kind of like makes like, or I guess what your coach puts as like the schedule is the amount of competition you play. While in AAU, if you play on the top circuit, you play against like all the best players from around the country and all the like ranked kids. So yeah, it's definitely more competition.
Hmm. And then for high school, since it is a mixture of different age groups, like you said, you're one of the younger people. Would you say it's hard going up against people who are older than you?
Freshman year it was because I was like way like skinnier and stuff and I was playing against like 18-year-olds and I was getting like bodied around. I was like this isn't like really fair. But I feel like over that summer like I lifted a lot more and I got used to I was playing up 17U, so I got used to like playing with that physicality and playing against like stronger players so that once I got to the high school season like I was able to like bump with those guys and like go head to head with them.
If you could give one piece of advice to any aspiring athletes, what would it be?
It'd probably be just like don't doubt yourself and don't give up just based off like other people's opinions. For me, like people like were like, oh, you're only good at basketball like because you're tall, but it's like you have to like I guess block them out and like don't let the noise get to you and just keep working and knowing that like you'll get to where you want if you put in the work.
What is one thing that people would be surprised to know about you?
I'm like a big superhero fan. Like I'm like a Marvel and DC nerd. I own like probably like 300 action figures from when I was a little kid. And I have some that are still in the boxes because my dad collected a lot of that stuff. And in a storage unit, I have 500 comic books from my dad's collection.
500?
Yeah, and it's like early stuff. Like my grandpa, he has like one of the number one like Superman, like the first comic book that came out for it at his house. So yeah.
Would you say that's like your escape from basketball? Like anytime that you're stressed, you would go to that?
Yeah, I've kind of like gotten away from it because I don't have like a lot of time. But like when I was like little, I used to like read all of them and I used to play with my action figures and like make like scenarios up, like them fighting and stuff like that. So yeah, and I love watching Marvel and DC movies all the time.
Would you say like your day to day routine is like specifically like for example like you wake up, go to school, and
Um, yeah, I wake up probably at like 7 because I live like pretty far from school, and then I go to school from 9 to like 2:40, I think, and then I stay at school for like an hour or two, and my mom picks me up at 4, and I go to weightlifting from 4:30 to 6:30 or 6:15, and then from 6:15 or from the workout place I'm at, I have to get picked up by one of the coaches, and then they drive me back to school. I practice at school from 6:45 to 8:30.
dang, and then you get back home at like 9.
Yeah, so I try to get my homework like during that 2 hour span after school. I try to get my homework done, or if I
Yeah.
can do it like during classes.
Would you say like you've had to sacrifice a lot of schoolwork, or do you keep it strictly at the number one thing on your list?
There's some days where I'm like, oh, like I want to go hang out with my friends on like the field to go watch like the softball game. So like yeah, there's definitely times where I try to like I put my homework aside and then like once I get home I realize I'm like, oh my God, like I have a whole bunch of homework or sometimes I just won't do it and then I'll just have to pay the price in the morning and have to do it in the car.
Yeah. How do you stay motivated? Like if you ever like don't want to go to practice or you don't want to do your homework, like what keeps you motivated and how do you push through it?
Um, just like realizing that it's gonna help me, like it's gonna set up my future better. Like even if, because I mean during the practices they're like super intense and stuff, and the conditioning like you want to like give up and stuff. And also like my teammates being there because we do like group session training, so everyone like rooting each other on and pushing each other to be better helps a lot.
And I feel like basketball is a very like individualized sport, if that makes sense. Like people are always like, oh, like how many points did you score? Like how well did you do specifically? So how do you think you do in terms of supporting your team and helping to shine light on other players?
I definitely like I struggle with it sometimes during practice. I like the our coach wants me to be like one of the leaders and like sometimes if one of my teammates will mess up or I mess up like I'll get mad and like won't like I'll like distance myself from everybody. So I'm trying to work on like even if someone like makes a turnover, giving them a high five saying like, oh, next play and just like trying to be that motivator guy, the motivator like energy guy.
Yeah. What's one area that you'd want to improve on and what's one area you think that you're strongest in right now?
An area I'm trying to improve on right now is probably dribbling because I didn't dribble a lot less last season because I was more of like a post player, but this season I'm gonna be more of like a guard, so I'm gonna have to bring the ball up a lot more, and also like my perimeter defense, like moving my feet because I have a hard time moving pretty quickly, and then the area I'm most good at is probably shooting threes because I shot like a pretty high percentage. I shot like 40% I think from three, and I took like 200. And then probably like my interior defense because I averaged like 3 blocks per game, and I had one game where I had like 9 or 10 blocks. So yeah,
Would you say you're proud of the athlete that you are today?
yeah, because I know that I've like put in the hours and the work, and just from going to like these couple trainings for the last month, like I've been able to jump way higher, and I'm already feeling like stronger and stuff like that. So knowing that like in the future I'll be even stronger is crazy.
You have these moments of like, I guess, accomplishments and things like that. So does it feel like all of your hard work paid off or are you still in that moment of like self-doubt where you're like, I could be doing better?
Probably still in self-doubt. Like even though I have like one offer to me, like it doesn't really like mean anything because I want like more and like higher level offers. So just knowing that I have to like keep like it's not a time to take a break now. Like I need to keep working as hard as I can.
Yeah. What was your reaction specifically when you got the offer from Pepperdine?
Um, so we were in like film because we were about to play a game. So we were watching film on the team, and our coach pulled me out and he took me to the office. And at first I was like, oh, like did I do something? Like did I get like a
Yeah.
bad grade or something? Because he sits us out if we have a bad grade. So I was like, oh God. And then he told me he was like, yeah, we're about to call coach. And then that's when I like realized I was like, oh my, like I'm about to get an offer. And then he called up my mom, and then he called up the coach, and the coach like him saying the words like you're getting a full ride like D1 scholarship to Pepperdine. I was like,
A full ride?
yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Wait, are you allowed to accept it?
No, I can't accept it.
Oh, you can't accept it. So you have to like technically wait?
Yeah, I have to wait until the like it's committable after that date where college coaches are allowed to contact you.
Is it because of your age or is it just because?
It's because of your age. You have to, or it's not age. I think it's based on class. You have to be going into your junior year.
Oh. Would you say like you would want to accept it or you want to wait to see if you get any more offers?
Probably wait to see how many more offers I
Can
get.
you wait it out?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. So you don't have to accept until like senior?
it's not until like senior, like very end of senior year. Because I mean, there's still people like committing like right now to colleges.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And you said that you had trouble with your knee. And do you think that you live with this fear of re-injury, like when playing basketball?
Yeah, during the summer it was like a mental block. Like sometimes when we were like running on the track and stuff, if like my knee would hurt like a little bit, I'd tell coach like I don't want to run, like I'm scared that I'm gonna hurt it. But someone that helped me a lot was my teammate Ahmad because he was going through like tendonitis and he like broke his rib and stuff. So I mean the tendonitis is like a main part because he's been dealing with it for a long time and he had like the same struggle, like scared that he's gonna re-injure it. So he was just telling me that I have to like push through and I have to like try new things and see like how my body reacts to certain things. So pushing through practice and then seeing the results afterwards.
Would you say you have to adapt to your knee and like adjust your playing style because you injured your knee?
Yeah, at first it was because I had to wear like a knee sleeve and I wore like a full leg sleeve because I felt like it'd give me more support. And then also like didn't jump as much because I was scared that I was gonna land on it wrong or like tweak it. But this season I definitely like got used to like jumping again and like being quick.
Yeah. What's one piece of advice you give athletes, like any athlete who's going through an injury right now? Like, what would you tell them?
Just to not like give up and let your like the bad side of your mental get to you.
Has there ever been moments like in the game where you like, I don't know, like have you seen it in movies like they like take a shot and then like they like freeze the screen and they're like thinking about like that moment, like, they get like a flashback? Like, has that ever happened to you?
Yeah, during the Damien tournament in LA, we were down by like 1 point and there was 4 seconds left and we were trying to run an action and it didn't work, so I just ran off of my teammate Tremaine's screen and I caught it in the corner and I was like fading away and I shot it, and as soon as I shot it, like it felt like slow motion, but as soon as I shot it I was like, oh, that's going in. And just like seeing it go in and all my teammates running up to me, it was like crazy. It felt like I was like in a movie. It was a crazy experience. Yeah, those are like the main moments that you like remember in like basketball. Like I have like tons of memories for basketball, but like that and like hanging out with all of them after school and going through all the like practices with them. That's like the main memories that stick with you.
I feel like that moment specifically, like anytime you go through something and you accomplish it, that moment is a culmination of like all of your past experiences. Like when people see all these people doing like amazing things, they're thinking like, oh, like that person has probably never went through any hardship ever. But in reality, like so many people will go through hardships and we just don't realize it from the outside perspective.
Yeah.
So I think, how do I say this? In terms of thinking about other people's successes, I think you should focus more on yourself and not try to like compare yourself to other people because you never know what other people are going through.
The silent battles that they're like facing.
Yeah, exactly. And especially like when you're playing a sport, it's so hard to not compare yourself. So have you ever dealt with comparing yourself to other people?
Yeah, I mean, even like still now, like seeing if I'm like on my phone on Instagram and I see like, oh, the number like five sophomore went off and I like see this guy playing and I'll be like I want to be as good as him. Like sometimes I'll think like I'll see them playing, I'd be like, oh, I can do that. Like I'm as good as them. But there's like certain factors that like make them like better than me. So like I have like they say I'm pretty sure there's a quote, it's like comparison is the thief of joy, I think. So like yeah, not comparing yourself is like
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah, for sure. Like for me specifically in volleyball, there's just been so many times where I feel like I've been slacking off, and I feel like I could be doing so much more, but it's just because I'm comparing myself to other people. Like I see all these people like putting in the work like outside of school, and like I put in the work outside of school too, but it's also like I also have other extracurriculars that I have to do, and I think it's just about realizing that every athlete has their own individual story, if that makes sense. So in terms of not comparing yourself, when you think about you as an athlete individually, that will help you a lot with your mental blocks because then like when you're playing, you're not going to think about the other person on the court who seems so much better than you. So I think it's all just about not comparing yourself to other people. Do you come from a sport oriented family, or are you the first to pursue sports at the next level?
I'm the first to pursue sports at the next level. My auntie and my uncle like played a little bit of basketball in high school, and my mom did track for a little bit, but she stopped, and then my dad did track for a little bit, and she stopped, or he stopped too.
Yeah. Were there any mentors, coaches, or family members who played a big role in your athletic journey?
Um, Probably the main coach like right now is our head coach Marshall, because he like coming out of freshman year, I was kind of like slacking off and stuff. Like I was like, oh, like I don't have to like put in the work. Like I can just like goof off during summer. But like the first day that I was here, he was there. He said like he like made a statement like that the stuff that we go through during summer is gonna be like some of the hardest stuff that we ever did in our life, which was like the conditioning, like running 5 miles every day, waking up at 6 a.m. on Saturday to go run in the mountains in Antioch and stuff like that. So he like really like set me up for success and is still helping me like to this day. Like during practice, like sometimes it like makes me mad because he like yells at me the most, but I know it's because he wants me to be like the best player. Like he says that he wants me to be an All American all the time and stuff. So just like I don't know, it's hard for me sometimes because during practice he'll like yell at me. Like he was last practice he was telling me that like the word around the our league, our basketball league was that like I was like soft and that like me and a couple of my other teammates were like soft and that if you push them around a little bit like they won't demand the ball and stuff. So he's trying to help me like get better at that and be like stronger and not be scared of contact.
How do you deal with other people's opinions and judgments? Because I feel like especially for you, just because like you've gotten D1 offers and you're only a sophomore. How do you deal with other people's judgment?
Um, Most of the time I try to like it depends on who it is. Like if it's like some random person, like I'll ignore it. I'd be like they don't know me, they don't know what I've been through and stuff. But if it's like a coach like making it depends if it's like a judgment or if they're making like I don't know what the word is, like if they're trying to like help you.
Oh, like constructive criticism versus like hating.
Perspective, even if it's my teammates, like I'll like take it into consideration. Like I won't take it to heart. Like I'm one of those people that won't if my teammate like if I do something in a game that's bad and I don't like think that's bad and they tell me that's bad, like I'll take that into consideration. I'll be like, okay, I need to do this better for my team.
Yeah, but I feel like there's a difference between that and then just somebody who's just like jealous of your success.
Yeah.
So have you ever like specifically dealt with that?
I don't think I've like specifically dealt with like someone like that I know of like being jealous towards me, but I'm sure that there's a couple people.
Yeah. Well, okay, not even like just people you know, but do you think like, and I feel like everybody's kind of a victim of that. I've just like seeing people on social media, like you said, when you see people on like Instagram, you compare yourself to them. But do you ever think that there are like sometimes just like moments of jealousy, I guess? And like, I know this is kind of like hard to answer.
It's definitely hard. I don't like struggle with it a lot because I'm not like jealous of a lot of people, but sometimes I'll see like people like playing at an AU tournament. There's like thousands of kids there, and they're like chanting their name and stuff, and they're like super happy, and they make the kids happy. I'm like jealous that I'm not like that. Like kids don't like look up to me like crazy and stuff like that. But then I realized like if I kept like working, then I'll be able to get to that level and be able to have like kids like look up to me and stuff.
Always good to have that push. Like, I feel like when you're around like minded people, or, okay, how do I say this? I think competition and pressure makes you better. Like, I think a lot of athletes work best under pressure because it's when you're pressure, it's either you crack or you rise to the occasion, you know? And
Yeah.
especially like for volleyball, there's just been so many moments where I've tried my very best to not fall to the pressure and instead rise to the occasion. But it's really hard because, like, especially when you're young and like for me, like I'm just a freshman, it's hard to not give in to the pressure. It's hard to not give in to other people's opinions and most of all, like give in to the expectations you put on yourself. So how do you think you've dealt with that specifically? Have you ever had moments where you didn't rise to the occasion and then you ended up being too hard on yourself?
Yeah, probably like what I was talking about earlier, the first Salesian game that we played, because there's so many people there that I knew, or actually the third Salesian game where we got like blown out by a lot, because like literally like all my teammates, family, friends, like everybody was there because we were playing like a
Yeah.
super nice center, and like we were like going out there, but we weren't prepared like for the level of physicality and stuff and I was only able to get like 4 shots off the entire game, and usually I take like 16 shots because they were like face guarding me and stuff. So I felt like again, I felt like that I let them down, but I felt like I didn't rise to the occasion. Like there was like certain times, like looking back, that I could have like posted up a little harder. Or I could have like tried to get my teammates more open. I feel like after the first quarter, after them like following me around and only getting 1 shot off, I kind of like gave up.
But okay, I know this is so hard to answer and it's like kind of like a deep question, but how do you deal with that? You know, like especially like as an athlete, like how do you deal with those moments of not rising to the occasion, you know? Like it could be either when you're reflecting or in the moment.
I feel like you just have to like kind of like put it off and just like move on to like the next day. Like I mean, you're gonna have moments in any sport. You're gonna have a moment where like you don't rise to the occasion or you mess up. Like if you miss like a game winner, but you just have to move on to the next game and like I guess like not. I don't want to say like hope that it doesn't happen the next game because I mean it's gonna happen no matter what you do, but just like be prepared to like I don't want to say like let yourself down, but things are gonna happen that are out of your control.
Yeah, honestly, like be prepared for the worst because I feel like those moments shape you. Like you learn so much from your mistakes in game. Like when you're watching film, right? Like I feel like the whole reason why you watch film is so that you learn from your mistakes, you know? When you look at your mistakes as something that you could fix rather than, oh, I didn't do that or I didn't do this, that honestly betters you off so much as an athlete. And I think it's also not only about the hard work you put in, but also about the mentality part of it. So, yeah. And where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
5 years, I see myself like playing college basketball still. Like I want to play in the NBA if I have the opportunity to, or even if I don't play, at like the highest level playing overseas or something like that, but I still see myself playing basketball and also like trying to get my college degree and stuff.
Yeah. Do you think you could ever see yourself without basketball?
No. Even if I were like 40 years old, like I'm still going to be like going to like 24-hour fitness and playing basketball with the young guys or something.
Really? So it's like something that you never think you'd leave, like
No,
ever?
I'll get like injured or something.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in today and for being a part of this conversation. Your journey is a true testament to resilience and hard work, and we can't wait to see what's next for you. To everyone listening, be sure to subscribe to Let's Talk Matcha so you never miss an episode. Thank you.
Thank you.